Hello, everyone. My business coach, Simon, has challenged me to share something uncomfortable with each of you tonight. As a trainer, I get lots of opportunity to hear people's stories, but many people don't stop to think about their trainer's story, or that we can actually empathize with our clients. I best empathize with clients who are affected by shame and vulnerability. And because of my story, I am able to challenge them to step past these obstacles and make positive changes in their lives. My story begins when I was in grade 3 and I started being affected by bullying. As an only child, I had parents who were aware of my struggles and attempted to reach out to my teacher about their concerns for my well-being. The teacher told my parents that it was my fault I was being bullied. It happened because I was an only child, and I acted too old for my age. She created a hand-touched sign to warn me of my bad behavior, like this, so I could stop my behavior and decrease my chances of being bullied. As an adult that struggles with anxiety, I have turned to many sources of wisdom to better understand myself, including my faith, which is extremely important to me. Besides faith, the other thing that I have found most helpful in my journey of overcoming anxiety is the work of Brené Brown on daring greatly and vulnerability. Brené says that vulnerability is not knowing victory or defeat. It is understanding the necessity of both. It's engaging. It's being all in. And she argues that it is this kind of living, this kind of wholehearted being, that allows humans to find true happiness and true joy. However, she also argues that in order to be vulnerable in life, we must believe that we are worthy of happiness, love, friendship, and joy. My grade 3 teacher started my journey of questioning my self-worth, a journey in which I have spent a lot of time believing I do not deserve happiness, friendship, and true love from others. From a very young age, I began to build up a shield around myself to protect myself from vulnerability. Something that I believed led to a world of heartache, and something that I believed was never safe, not even with adults who were supposed to be trusted. Because it took 6 months for my parents to realize my teacher was bullying me, and it wasn't until years later I was able to truly find the courage to tell them that she used to lock me up in the paper room as punishment for my over-adult behavior during recess break, my journey to avoid vulnerability, and my willingness to feel shame started at a very young age. I started building my armor against vulnerability with perfectionism. At the age of 8, my desire for perfectionism had started. I had come to believe that I had to earn approval of adults in order to be granted safety. The best way to earn this approval was, I believed, to accomplish as much as I could at the highest level that I could. I began seeking perfectionism in my grades, and then, as my interests widened, I fell in love with sport. Sport was a great way for me to find freedom from the judgmental school environment, a way I could set goals to better myself and have concrete results to show my betterment. Thus began my career in competitive track and field. The one positive outcome of my determination to find perfectionism in sport was that I found a place where I met true friends, got physically fit and active, and made positive relationships in which I was actually able to show vulnerability within this group of people. It was the one place that my armor came off, yet it was the success I had in my sport that allowed me to so tightly put the armor back on the moment I left the athletic arena. My focus on perfectionism in sport also allowed me to be constantly busy. another way in which I was able to hide from vulnerability, and a tendency I have to challenge to this day. It is a challenge for me to say no, as I feel guilty saying no to someone. I have to remind myself daily, I am enough, and it is okay to need time to relax, to just be ordinary, and that no is indeed something that I can say when it's good for me. As I stepped into adulthood, I had a number of challenging relationships with men, one that was particularly abusive both emotionally and physically. And this is when I became one with shame, something that Brene Brown defines as the fear of disconnection. It is the fear that something we've done or failed to do, an ideal that we've not lived up to, or a goal we've not accomplished, makes us unworthy of connection. It is a feeling that I am not worthy or good enough for love, belonging, or connection. As I stepped into a world that was telling me I was never enough, with a partner who was always telling me I wasn't enough, and that he was hurting me because of my failures, that I in fact deserved to be hurt by him, because I had become unworthy of his kindness, I became totally engulfed in shame. I started to believe that I had to look perfect, have the perfect body, be an amazing athlete, have the perfect job, the perfect house, cook the perfect meals, make the perfect amount of money, say the perfect things to his family and friends. Being able to do anything less than all of this by myself was shameful. No matter how deeply I knew that it is actually impossible to be Superwoman, I still believed I should be able to do all of this and that I wasn't enough. With the right encouragement and driven by fear of just how dangerous my relationship had become, I was eventually able to free myself from the man who told me I wasn't enough, mainly due to the help of my close friends, Chantel and Cam. I was able to do this just in time to enter a stage of my life that was full of loss. The loss of my relationship, the loss of my cousin, the loss of my grandmother, the witnessing of death at an accident scene, and the loss of my godmother all happened within a 23-month period. But after putting my parents through such worry, through court cases and having to take money for them to escape my dangerous relationship, I desperately wanted to do something for them. So I decided to elect myself as the one who needed to be strong throughout this loss. This was when I started a new habit of avoiding vulnerability, the habit of numbing. If I tried hard enough to hide my feelings and emotions and willed them to go away and spent every ounce of energy that I had, I could, indeed, feel nothing. It was during this time that I found a new sport, a new passion, the sport of dragon boating, the sport that changed my life. This sport allowed me to find a new challenge for myself, to chase a new dream of becoming world class at an upper body sport. It also put me in a team situation and in a supporting sporting community like no other, a sporting community that truly wanted to support me, care about me, befriend me, and love me. Shortly after joining dragon boating, I began to suffer from anxiety, a condition from which I still seek counseling and take medication for. It was during that time that my friend Donimal told me anxiety was not my fault and that being smarter, stronger, or better wouldn't mean I could handle it. Thank you, Donimal. That handling so much loss and grief alone was inhuman, and it was indeed okay to need help. A second dragon boat friend introduced me to Brene Brown. After reading Brene Brown and daring greatly, I began a new journey. A journey to be able to compete in sport for the love of sport, to work at a job that I loved, even if some people didn't believe it was a grown-up job, and a journey to get to a point where I could be vulnerable enough to share my feelings with others and share joy in friendship and relationship. For me, each day, I work on finding true happiness. I work on overcoming my shame of surviving trauma, of being stereotyped, of my struggle with anxiety, and my feelings of needing to have a perfect body image because of my career. As I become braver with my vulnerability, I am able to build more connection in sport. This connection and friendship brought me to people who saw the beauty in my passion for dragon boat and the strength in my determination to set goals. Sport became a healthy place for me to feel safe and worthy. Soon, I was able to begin getting to know a new group of Vancouver ladies who instantly welcomed me, friended me, and helped me grow in my skill as a paddler. A group of teammates who inspire me every day, and a group I am so proud to share 3 World Championship bronze medals with from the 2014 World Cup Clue Championships in Italy. Italy was truly an experience that combined daring greatly, vulnerability, true happiness, fulfillment, and overwhelming joy, and I was able to experience and feel all of these wonderful emotions. During the last 2 years, I have also been able to work at building a deep connection with my chosen family, my best friend, who really is my sister, and her 3 beautiful children, who I am so proud to call my godchildren. By giving up the armor of being constantly busy in order to get vulnerable, I've been able to make spending more time with these 3 amazing little people a reality. And every single time I get to show them love, I am blessed with a sense of joy I did not humanly know was possible to feel. Holly, Hudson, and Georgia, I love you to bits. This fall, I was lucky enough to meet someone whose patience and kindness have made me want to try and feel worthy of accepting a new love. While I'm still getting used to having a boyfriend who likes to treat me like a princess, I am still struggling with accepting this is something that I'm okay with. However, I want to work on feeling worthy of accepting love in order to better give love and share of myself. So while I spend each day coaching others how to overcome shame and judgment and how to be vulnerable enough to start a transformation process, this is also something I work on myself every day as I attempt to find true joy in my life in athletics, true peace with my faith, and true fulfillment in myself and my relationships. If my story has inspired you to be vulnerable, challenge your shame, or accept that you too are amazing and that it's okay to just be you, then I have reached my goal with sharing this story. So please share it with others who believe in inspiration. And check out BreneBrown.com to help you begin a journey towards daring greatly. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.